What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Today we are playing some P40, not P40, I don't know what I was trying to say there, but P40 Cup, Yorkshire taking on Sussex, round 9, live from Lancaster. And we'll be hoping to get some runs on the board here today. Hopefully LBW shout first up, but before we go and get any further, remember to smash the like button, smash that thumbs up. Let's again aim for 50 likes on this video. You guys have been really good lately at smashing that like button in the video, so thank you very, very much for that. If you are new, please do hit subscribe. Again, the time of recording this video, I am just under 8,100 subscribers, so that's absolutely massive. It seems like basically only yesterday that I was saying, well, you know, we've gone and crossed 8,000, so that is, as I said, is a huge monument, and it's something, you know, that is very important to me. The subscribers and the view count and the like count and the comments, that means that you guys are enjoying the content, and if you're enjoying the content, that means I'm probably going to be enjoying making it, because there's nothing worse than doing a video that I don't enjoy, and then that will come across to you guys and you won't enjoy it that way either. So bit of a, I don't even know what that is, bit of a blurb that we've just gone on about in this first over. But anyway, we're chasing over 240 runs, which is about pretty par when it comes to the P40 competition. You know, obviously with less overs, you generally seem to get more runs, and that's a nice shot. For some reason, they have actually moved that fine leg up inside the circle, so we will lip that one off away. I can't even talk today. Whip that one away off the pads. There we go. And that has gone for our first boundary of the innings. So we're going to move on to some international cricket. It has been a while actually since I have talked about them. I'm not sure if I've talked about the third one day between New Zealand and Australia much. I'm not going to go and touch on that a whole lot. New Zealand, again, outdone. I think, again, losing by about 100 runs. So, really, quite a demoralising series defeat that was for us Kiwis against the Aussies. But, obviously, there were some positive signs there. Guptill scoring runs. Williamson was pretty good. I think Colin Munro was fairly good. Lockie Ferguson looked good in international cricket, obviously clocking 150 consistently. Now, that's something that we need. Potentially, if you pair up the pair of Adam Milne and Lockie Ferguson, two guys who are bowling 150 clicks plus consistently, you know, that is going to be a nightmare for certain batters, for certain batting teams, and just teams in general. You know, to have those two speedsters, it is very rare. You know, Australia's probably got Mitchell Starc, who gets up around that 150. Apart from that, you know, Joshy Hazlewood 140, Pat Cummins 145. They may be the only team I can think of at the moment in world cricket that really have guys that consistently hit that 145, 150 very consistently. But it was a good series for David Warner. I will touch on this quickly because we do have a bit of time. But I believe David Warner scored another 100. I think he scored 100 in the second game as well. So he scored in the last two. But I think what that did do is I think Warner now potentially has... Get back. I don't know why my player didn't run there. I do not know why Cliffy didn't run. Very lazy, but not getting back. But Warner, I believe, hit... It's either 7 or 8 centuries in a calendar year now. And I think the only player he is behind is Sachin Tendulkar. Now, I don't think he is going to have a chance to surpass that record, just due to the fact that I think Australia just have test matches coming up. I think they got Pakistan first. I'm not sure if that's on Boxing Day or if they have some tests before. I think they may have one test before, a Boxing Day test, and then like a New Year's test as well. I think it's a 3-game series, 3-match series. So he won't have a chance to beat that. But what is quite an important fact that a lot of people do overlook or don't consider is that I believe Warner did it in about, was 1 off Tendulkar or 2 off Tendulkar. Played in 10 less games. So Australia, I think when I looked at it, Warner had only played like 23 one-day internationals this year. You know, I think the two that were above him, I think was Tendulkar and possibly Ganguly. Now they had played like 33, 35, so they played about 10 or 12 one-day internationals more. So possibly that was in a World Cup year where there were obviously the World Cup tournament, a lot of build-up to the World Cup, so you will have long one-day international series there. But you know, it is good, and it shows the class of David Warner. Obviously, when he first came into the Australian setup, he was an unknown guy, came into the T20 side, and, you know, was kind of just there, kind of just seen as a T20 player, and just a guy who would go out and just absolutely bludgeon the ball. And, I mean, he still does do that, but a lot more consistently in the longer forms of the game. And, I mean, now, you know, looking at it, he is a very, very good opener in both one-day internationals and tests, and, you know, you can't leave out the T20s, which is where he did start things off. So he has become, as I said, very consistent in the longer forms of the game, and he is turning into a very, very good, very consistent opener as well. I think he averages 40 plus in both Tests and one-day internationals. So that's a record that he should definitely be proud of. So that's enough. I did say I was only going to talk briefly about that Australian and New Zealand series, but we did seem to go on a little bit there. Another game that is going on at the moment is I think the fourth and final test between England and India. There may be one more, I'm not sure. But there was a stat that I did read when I was looking at the text commentary. I think there was five. What was it? I think it was 5 out of the 6. 5 out of the 6 top run scorers for the year we're playing in this test match. I'm guessing Virat Kohli's up there. Johnny Bairstow's had a very good season, the wicketkeeper batsman from England. And I'm just trying to think who else. I think Murali Vijay's having a fairly decent season, so is Pujara. But again, these guys have played a lot of Test cricket, so it is hard for other nations, other countries to really go and get up on that standard when they have been playing a lot less Test cricket, you know, compared to the likes maybe of New Zealand. South Africa, I can't really remember them playing too many Tests this year. So it does make a difference that way, and it is a bit hard to judge there. And that's where, you know, stats aren't always the be-all and end-all. If you look at a player's numbers, you can't say, right, this player is better than this player because of his numbers. I mean, depends on the area you played in. There may be a guy, you know, just thinking back maybe to the 80s and the 90s when, you know, West Indies had that really, really good fast bowling quartet. And there may be a guy that, you know, played either just before them or just after all of them have retired, may have better numbers than a guy who was playing during that passage that they did have those 4 bowlers there. And I mean, those 4 bowlers, you know, absolutely destructive. You go back to the West Indies, as I said, of the 80s and the early 90s, and they are very, very good. But you know, you may look at a guy whose numbers who faced all those 4 players and faced them a lot in their Test career. You know, their numbers may not be as good. Their average may be 5 or 10 less than, you know, a guy who played either side of it, but he may be just as good or a better player. You know, you just can't read into numbers too much. You know, it isn't the be-all and end-all. Stats are an important part of cricket, but there is, I guess, an underlining thing that stats can be misleading. You know, it could be a completely different thing. A lot of players could have a high average or a low bowling average, we shall say, just due to the fact that they're playing, you know, smaller nations. They might be playing a lot of games against Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, not that they're a small one-day team now, but they might be playing that. You know, like an Australian, for example, may be playing against, you know, those teams, whereas one of the smaller teams or someone like New Zealand, maybe England, may not have as good of a record because they're playing against Australia, South Africa, England consistently. So that is why you can't read into stats too much. And I don't even know where I got to or how I got onto this topic, but we have really raffled on, I must say. So back to what I was saying. Obviously, that 4th Test match between England and India, which I believe is at Mumbai. England scored 400 batting first. Josh Buttler, I think, made a very good 75 coming in at number 7. So it is going to be interesting to see the makeup of that side, because Buttler always was the first choice wicketkeeper. Johnny Bairstow has had such a good 2016, it would be very hard to leave him out of the Test side going forward. So whether there's space for both of them to fit in, we will have to wait and see. But anyway, England 400. In reply, India at the moment 417 for 7. Virat Kohli, he's scored another 100. I think that's Test 100 number 15 for him now. So he's really starting to rack them up to go along with those one-day hundreds he has as well. Murali Vijay scored a very good century as well. I think that's his 8th Test match century. A bit of an underrated player, I think, Murali Vijay. A guy that probably doesn't get the respect that he's deserved. He has been fairly consistent at that Indian top order spot. You know, probably for the last, you know, 4 or 5 years, he has been the guy that basically has always been there. They've gone, toyed around, I guess, with a few other options. Obviously, Gautam Gambhir is one. Rahul, who's playing in this game. Shikhar Dhawan, I think Pujara has opened as well. So there is plenty of, you know, different choices. But Murali Vijay, he has been the consistent guy. He has been in there, you know, from the beginning and hasn't been displaced whatsoever. So a bit of an underrated player. But it will be very interesting to see now what does happen, because, you know, just looking at this pitch, and I think I did talk about it possibly, I might have been in Friday's video actually when I did talk about the first day. On the first day, the ball was turning an absolute mile on this pitch. So heading into days 4 and days 5, when we're starting to get foot marks, we're starting to get a bit of this, bit of that, potentially this pitch could turn hugely. So I think any advantage that India do get in this first innings. Now remember, they are 17 runs ahead at the moment with 3 wickets left in hand. So if they can get a lead, anywhere around 50 or 60 runs, that could be absolutely crucial, because they do have to bat last on this pitch. So they really don't want to be chasing anything, I would probably say, above 100. If they get anything above 100 lead England, I think they really are in with a very good chance in this game. The only downside, I think, for the English is that they do only have 2 spinners in the side. They do only have Moeen Ali and I'm trying to think, Abdul Rashid. So just 2 spinners. Joe Root picked up a couple of wickets in this innings, 2 of the 7, I believe. But there is plenty of bowling options there, and I think not only the spin, but I think if the bounce does start to go, that's where England could be dangerous as well, because they do have some very good seamers in the side as well, with the likes of James Anderson, Chris Wokes is in there, Ben Stokes, who we've seen very good with the reversing ball. So it could be a very interesting last couple of days in this Test match. And as I said, I believe this is the 4th and final one. India up 2-0. They've got an unassailable 2-0 lead. So they have won the series already. We actually almost chopped that one on due to the foot, but we've managed to stay in. And we've actually put together, this is probably the best innings we've had in a batting career in a wee while. Run rate has come down now below 6. Remember, it was about 6.5 when we did first start, so that's gone down. We've made 60 off 33. We've gone about it pretty nonchalantly, I guess you would say. We haven't played an aggressive shot. We haven't played an aerial shot. It has just all been timing and placed into the gaps. So we'll continue this on. We do have a good batting lineup left to come. I think Gary Ballant's still on the side, Adam Lyth, I think Kane Williamson, Johnny Bairstow. So there is plenty of batting left to go. And just as I say that we are now starting to get a bit, that we haven't done any shots in anger or any aggressive shots, lofted shots, we go and do one there. It's played past the outside edge, and it is missed, thankfully, so we do happen to survive for another day. But I'm going to start to go a little bit more attacking now, because I have gone and discussed everything that I do need to in fairly good detail, and that is straight out of the gun barrel, dead straight. And it has actually hit the side screen, so we'll pick up that 50 experience as well, which is something that, you cannot go without. Even with Don Bradman's Even with Don Bradman's 17 on the horizon, it is coming very close. I think for you guys in Australia, you do get it on Friday. I think potentially our release has been delayed. I don't think we get it to about the 22nd of December, which is a real shame. So I'm still deciding at the moment whether I am going to go and look at purchasing it from Australia and getting it sent over, or if I'm just going to hang it out and wait for the New Zealand release. But we will wait and see. But yeah, even with that coming out, Don Bradman 14 is still a game that I am going to play on both consoles. I'm still going to play on PS3, still going to play on PS4. I had talked about that again in another video. I can't quite remember which one it was. But, as I said, just because it's coming out, it doesn't mean that my career modes on the 3 career modes that I have going at the moment, it doesn't mean it's going to be the be-all and end-all of those. I'm still going to keep them going, because I really do enjoy playing all of them, and they are a lot of fun. But they are just going to be a bit less frequent, just due to the fact that obviously we have this new game that we are going to want to go and show about, I guess. So, as I said, we started to go a bit more aggressive, and now it just looks a bit too easy for us. We've taken 22 off this over so far with 5 balls left to go. We've moved on to 83 as well, so chances are we probably are going to get 100 today here, boys. 89 now with that 6 off just 41 deliveries. Just quickly checking the time, because I do have to head to work in about 2 hours. So it is a bit of a busy day. Went Christmas shopping this morning, worked this afternoon, come home and then have my work function. So really was just trying to squeeze this in. And then we'll probably have some cricket coach tomorrow, I would say. But you got to get me out first, Sussex. We are doing well. The run rate for us is up above 10. And I mean, Lees is doing pretty well as well. He's faced 32 deliveries, scored 23, and that one there is straight out of the gun barrel again. We do like playing that shot down the ground. That one has hit the side screen on the full. Another 50 XP and another 2 straight bat skill. Not that I think my straight bat skill does need to be improved. I think it is absolutely maxed out at the moment. That one there is going to be a wide. Rebowl the ball, please. And it just is not going the way. I was going to say the Surrey, but the Sussex Sharks. Who are Surrey? I think Surrey are just Surrey. Oh, you're joking! Put the mockers on myself. What was I trying to do? I haven't played a shot out there all day. Didn't check the field. And we're gone for 95 off 44. But what an opening knock, especially chasing a total that did require over a run of ball. It has left a lot less work for Gary Balance, Kane Williamson, Bairstow, Gale, Hood, Rashid to do. So, as I said, we should get up quite comfortably in this game. It is very rare that we do play a P40 game, so that's why I thought I would bring it to you guys today. But Kane Williamson has finished it off, our New Zealand teammate. No, we're Australian in this game. But we do pick up the man of the match, 95 off 44, and we will definitely go and take that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Do hope you have enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Cliffy, your King of Career Mode, signing out.